Quazi here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the biggest reality creation secret, which is the concept of responsibility. Before I begin this video, I want to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you're interested to get a free copy of this book in the ebook format, just comment Life Mastery down below. And at the end of the week, we're going to be picking one lucky winner to get this book for completely free in the ebook format. It's around $12 on Amazon, but you can get it for completely free if you just comment Life Mastery down below. Also, I'm super excited to announce that the Reality Mastery program is still open for enrollment, and we're still offering the free one-to-one consult. So if you're interested, wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. So with that, let's get started with this video. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about a concept called responsibility, whatever that means. And you really might be wondering what that means, but in this video, I'm going to clarify that up and how you can use this as a very powerful tool to accelerate your manifestation tenfold, and how after I found out about this concept, my manifestations have been going crazy. And I want you to experience this as well. So before I begin this video, I wanted to talk about a concept called inner intention and outer intention. You might be familiar with this, you might not if you are new to the channel. So if you aren't, inner intention and outer intention are concepts that come from a book called Reality Transurfing, which is a quantum model of viewing reality and the events that occur in it. It was written by a Russian quantum physicist called Vadim Zeland, who turned into an esoteric teacher of all of these metaphysical concepts that he shares in essentially what's the Bible of manifestation after a series of epiphanies that he's had. So in this book, he talks about the concept of intention versus desire, and how desire transmuted into intention is much more powerful. And intention is defined as the resoluteness in your decision to have and to act. Inner intention is more closely defined as a resoluteness in your decision to act. Outer intention is defined as a resoluteness in your decision to have. If you want to learn more about this, click up here on a video I made of the differences between inner intention and outer intention and what they really mean. So now, in understanding that, we also know that inner intention is what you do. So your resoluteness in your decision to act, how certain are you that you're going to take action? How much action are you taking? It's when you launch your personal attack against the world. Outer intention assumes that the reality that you want can just be chosen. It doesn't need to be struggled or fought to be manifested. It can just be chosen. It's already existent. And whatever's yours will inevitably come to you anyways. So outer intention is the powerful force that Jesus Christ used to walk on water, because he was so certain that he could do it. Do you think he had even the slightest bit of doubt that he could walk on water? If he did, he probably would have drowned. But he did that, and that is the powerful outer intention that he used. Another way to view outer intention is an intention that is not yours, per se. It is yours, but at the same time it isn't. It belongs to the whole world. It's when the whole universe conspires to give you what you want. It's the divine intention that made creation and manifestation of everything around you possible. So now, in understanding outer intention as the divine intention, we want to get into the concept of responsibility. So now really, before I get deeper into this video, I want to ask you a question. And what I want to ask you is, what do you think responsibility means? I asked all of my clients this, and it's actually a module in my program that I'm sharing with you. But what I want to ask you is, what do you think responsibility is? Really think about this. And do you think you're responsible for everything around you? Or are you only responsible for certain things? And now, if you answered that responsibility is, who is to blame? Is it my fault or his fault? Is he responsible, or am I responsible for that bad thing that happened? And, the answer is, in that definition, responsibility is limited. But if we want to define responsibility that in a way that actually accelerates our manifestation, I want to define it like this. Responsibility is how able you are to respond. It is the ability you have to respond to anything. And now, with this definition, I want to ask you, are you responsible for everything? If responsibility is how able you are to respond to everything, then your responsibility is infinite, right? You can respond to everything. You can truly respond to everything around you. Isn't it so? So in understanding that we can respond to everything, the question really becomes now whether or not we're responding consciously to everything or unconsciously. See, everything around you right now, you're responding to it in some way. Your body is responding to it in a certain manner. If that object weren't present right now in here, then you'd be responding in a different way. You're responding to the sun, you're responding to the air around you, you're responding to the lights, you're responding to, the chairs, that bottle. Somehow there is some sort of response going on. But right now the problem is this response is unconscious. And why this is a problem is because in manifestation, when we understand the concept of a divine intention, we know that our responsibility is infinite. We're able to respond to everything. And now if we turn this response more and more conscious, a crazy thing starts to happen. Once you start taking responsibility for everything around you, and you realize every single day the extent to which you're responsible, your manifestations for some reason get 10x'd. Now, why this happens is because of the connection to outer intent. Remember, we defined outer intent as the resoluteness in your decision to have, but also as an intention that is yours, but not yours at the same time. This is a divine intention that belongs to the universe, to everything around you, and when everything conspires to give you what you want. When you realize that your responsibility is infinite, and you can respond to everything around you, you are making yourself one with everything around you. Once you make yourself one with everything around you, you start to activate this oneness intention or this divine intention, and it starts to work more and more in your favor every single day. Like, if you could realize the extent to your responsibility more and more every single day and become more and more conscious of this responsibility and respond consciously to everything, you would become much more alive every single day. Like, really think about it. Who has the least responsibility? Who is the least responsible or respondable? Who can respond the least? A person who's alive or a person who's dead? Obviously, a person who's dead would respond much less to anything because you touch that person, he doesn't move. But a person who's alive, you touch that person, he goes, "Why are you touching me for?" So, really, how able you are to respond determines how alive you are. The more alive you are, the more conscious you are. The more conscious you are, the easier it is to influence reality around you. If you just get yourself into higher vibration, you are able to manifest anything. Because really think about it this way. If for a day you are completely rested, you're fully rested, and you're going through the day, your day goes amazingly. Nothing gets in your way, nothing irritates you, and if it does, you can deal with it much better. If you go through a day and you're just half rested, you didn't sleep quite well, now everything feels like a struggle. And a good night's rest becomes your God. For a hungry person, food becomes their God. For a thirsty person, water becomes their God. For an unrested person, a good night's sleep becomes their God. Do you think a thirsty person in the desert would care if God showed up and said, "Hey, I'm God"? No. He would say, "Where's water?" Right? So essentially, how this relates to responsibility is that how alive you are determines your consciousness, and also your responsibility is directly correlated to how alive you are. The more and more conscious you get, the easier it is to influence your reality. The more alive you are, the easier it is you can influence your reality, right? So now we want to know how we can use this in our favor to accelerate manifestation. In understanding this, once you've understood the concept of outer intention and the divine intention and responsibility as not who is to blame, but rather how able you are to respond to life and understand the importance of responding consciously, now I want to share with you 2 keys that is going to help you get into this full realization of your consciousness and also your responsibility, and start using this to propel you closer and closer towards your goals in an effortless fashion. Key number 1 is remind yourself of your responsibility every single day. Now, this is very, very important. If you just wake up first thing in the morning and you remind yourself, the extent to which I'm responsible is infinite. I can respond to everything. Once you remind yourself of that, more than half of the work is done. More than half of the work is in identifying. First thing in the morning, last thing before bed, just sit on the corner of your bed before you go to sleep, or as you're falling asleep even, just remind yourself of your responsibility. That my responsibility, the extent to which I'm responsible, is infinite. This is very, very important. The quality of your life will drastically change if you just remind yourself this on a day-to-day basis. First thing in the morning, last thing in the bed. Very simple thing to do. Key number 2, you want to get into a full realization of your responsibility. And now remember that everything around you, you've been responding to it unconsciously. And as a result, you've been creating unconscious changes in your reality. Maybe some of which you like, some of which you don't like, but as a result of being unconscious, you've been unconsciously creating reality. The more conscious you get, the more consciously you are able to influence reality around you, right? So you want to get into full realization of your responsibility and know that maybe I've been responding unconsciously, and make this process as conscious as you possibly can. I cannot understate the importance of this. Get into full realization of responding to everything around you. Start to respond to everything consciously. When you look at that water bottle, when you look at that pen, imagine your body's having some sort of an interaction. It might seem kind of freaky at first, but imagine you are somehow connected to it. That book on the desk, somehow I'm connected to it. The trees, the most powerful way to do this is to imagine trees around you. Now, most people think they don't, how am I responding to trees? Well, your body is doing some sort of exchange, at least, of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Imagine that. Imagine there's some energetic exchange happening every single day to things around you. There is some sort of energetic exchange happening, whether or not you're aware of it. Now, the key is to make this process an aware one, a conscious one. Because once you start doing that, outer intention starts to work with you in manifesting your goals. You start to become more and more one with life. The more and more one with life you become, the more life starts to work for you. Really, God becomes your slave. I know this is a very, very disturbing way to put it for some of you, but you can start to manifest whatever goals you want if you just become more and more one with life. Now, everyone is more concerned with sticking out and being special, etc., etc. You won't even have to do that. That'll happen naturally. If you start to walk your own path and just, don't get too focused on sticking out, but rather becoming one with everything around you, life starts to help you move towards your goals. So I definitely encourage you to try out these 2 exercises, especially, identifying and becoming aware of your responsibility, that it's infinite every single day. Remind yourself every single day that your responsibility is infinite. Before you go to sleep, first thing in the morning. And then what you want to do is, as you're walking outside, just imagine that your body is having some sort of an energetic interaction with everything. Imagine a beam of energy is flowing between you and the tree, you and this tripod, you and the books around you, anything around you right now. Imagine that you are having some sort of an energetic interaction with it. With that, you'll eventually start to feel more and more one with it. And you're turning this unconscious process that was previously unconscious now into a more conscious process. And as a result, not only increasing your consciousness, but becoming more and more one with life. This very single act will transform your life. And it has done so for me. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. So make sure you try this. And let me know in the comments if you are going to try it, and just write down challenge accepted, and just do this for the next 30 days. And I want to see your results after you've done this. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope this helped. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and believe it or not, for some reason you don't get a notification every time I release a new video. So you have to subscribe and hit the bell as well. So hit that little bell button next to it. Also, I'm excited to announce that I'm growing a massive Facebook group, so make sure you take advantage of this by clicking on the link in the description below to join, and I hope I see you there. And also, the Reality Mastery Program is open for enrollment, and if you want to work with me and use the most powerful paradigm of manifestation in your favor right now, just click on the link in the description below to sign up for your free one-to-one consult. And if you're ready to shift your life completely, What we're going to be doing in this consult is doing a 45-minute to an hour long, diagnosing your current law of attraction practices, and also how you can implement identity shifting into your life right now. So make sure you take advantage of this as well, and click on the link below to sign up for your free consult, and I hope I see you there. Till next time, peace.